This month, Xbox is adding some new games to Game Pass, including a brand new RPG that would normally cost you £50.
And premium subscribers are getting a ton of new titles too. Here's everything that's on the way in the next few weeks. October 6th might only be a few months away, but for a game like Gears of War E-Day, it feels like an excruciating time to wait. It's not quite got my face melted off by an emulsion-powered shotgun excruciating, but yeah, definitely close. Fortunately, Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass subscribers can get an early taste of the action with the multiplayer open beta that kicks off on August 6th. It's the ideal way to get your locust blasting skills back up to scratch, and also a chance to check out the all-new PvE mode Horde Siege, which we actually checked out a little bit early, and you can see all of that in the video up the top there. But of course, it goes without saying that Gears of War E-Day itself will also be a Day 1 addition to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate when that fateful day in October finally rolls around. Kicking off the month in style, Beast of Reincarnation arrives Day 1 on Xbox Game Pass Ultimate on the 4th. This third-person action RPG takes place in a futuristic version of Japan that has been totally overrun with plant life. It's the sort of beautiful place that really makes you want to stop and smell the roses. Except those roses are likely growing out the back of a grizzly bear, or an extremely angry robot. Well, you'll be fighting these florid foes using Emma's sword skills and vine-based magic powers to bamboozle your enemies before calling in Ku to unleash one of his abilities. It's a really compelling mashup of real-time action, turn-based decision-making, and quick-time events. So if you're a Claire Obscure fan, you're definitely barking up the right tree. Before we move on to the rest of the all-new editions, and there are some doozies, I promise, why don't we quickly run through all of the new titles coming to Xbox Game Pass Premium. Heretic and Hexen bring a pair of classic FPS games back on the 4th, and they were built using the classic Doom engine and is every bit as metal, just with a little bit more sorcery. Monsters Are Coming is a tower defense roguelite where you have to protect a moving city from an endless horde of monsters. It arrives on the 6th, and so does Power Wash Simulator 2, which, for my money, is the single greatest power washing simulation game ever made. Prove me wrong. On the 11th, we've got Bounty Star, an over-the-shoulder game that combines the simple joys of farming with the not-quite-so-simple joys of mech combat. Grounded 2 also comes to Premium on the 11th, which just so happens to be the very same day that its massive new Into the Abyss update arrives. Ball Pit is going to mesmerise a whole new bunch of players with its ball-slinging roguelite action from the 12th. Mio Memories in Orbit is a 2D Metroidvania that's just appallingly nice to look at, and that one arrives on the 13th. And finally, Egging On is a physics-based platforming game where you play as an actual, literal egg, and it will be available with Xbox Game Pass Premium from the 18th. So all said, the Premium library is getting a pretty massive expansion this month, and it goes without saying that every single one of these games is already available right now with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, but that begs the question, which level of Game Pass are you subscribed to, and why? Why don't you let me know down in the comments. Okay, getting back to newcomers, and we've got Date Everything coming to Xbox Game Pass Premium and Ultimate on the 11th. Giving a whole new meaning to the term kitchen sink drama, this wacky dating sim stars a lovelorn woman who receives a mysterious pair of glasses that make all of the items in her house burst into life. Your Hoover, your fridge, your clock, they're all now vibrantly voice-acted characters with big personalities and branching storylines to pursue based on how you take to them. Date Everything is the sort of game that you could easily miss because the central premise is so completely bonkers, but when it's just a button press away in your Xbox Game Pass library, well... If, like a certain 70s rock band, you don't like cricket, you love it, well, this next one is for you. It's Cricket 26, and it's coming to Xbox Game Pass Premium and Ultimate on the 13th. The latest entry in Big Ant's sports sim series really conjures the game in all its wicket-stealing, how's that yelling glory, with lush new ray-traced lighting effects, enhanced animations, and dynamic weather effects that can have a major impact on whether you're handing out corkers or throwing nothing but pies. Did that make sense? I'll level with you, it's been a long time since I've played cricket. Not to be confused with the TV series about hard partying stockbrokers, Sandustry is a factory automation game that will be available to PC Game Pass members in game preview form from the 13th. So if you've crafted everything there is to craft in Terraria, this could be your next obsession. In Sandustry's fully destructible 2D world, every single pixel has its own physical properties. Every bit of everything that you encounter can be processed in some way, and everything reacts to everything else. So water can become machine-powering steam if you heat it up, but it'll also disappear into any sand that you might leave lying around. From these basic materials, you can then build the most elaborate factories known to man, unlocking new technologies and unearthing ancient artifacts as you go until you've industrialized the entire planet. Or Sandustrialized it, I guess. A couple more things before you go, just to make sure that we're all getting the very most out of our Game Pass subscriptions. Xbox backwards compatibility is now available on PC, so you can dive into some OG Xbox classics like Fusion Frenzy and Blinks the Time Sweeper on your computer, or maybe on a handheld like the ROG Xbox Ally. Console games on a handheld would have absolutely blown my mind back in 2001. Speaking of bygone eras, the game preview form of the medieval hack and slasher Tears of Metal also snuck onto Game Pass for PC right at the end of July, so that is well worth checking out for anyone who fancies crossing some swords. I know a lot of you guys were asking about where it is in the comments, and here we go. The most obvious Xbox Game Pass benefit is that you get access to all of these lovely games that I just mentioned, plus literally hundreds more already in the library, but there is also an ever-changing lineup of in-game benefits just to sweeten the deal, and there are loads of them right now. So ready? Game Pass subscribers with a penchant for shooting can currently claim free in-game benefits for Warzone, Fragpunk, The Finals, PUBG Battlegrounds, Overwatch, and Rainbow Six Siege. Fighting fans can claim some freebies in 2XKO and Brawlhalla, while the anime lovers out there can grab some goodies in Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero or Wuthering Waves. Where Winds Meet only came to Xbox this summer, and that one's already got benefits on offer, and Skate does as well before the full game has even come out. Then there's Goals, Heroes of the Storm, Smite 2, and just so many more. So why don't you find out if your favourite game has any benefits going, just by opening up the Game Pass area on your Xbox and hitting the My Benefits button. So August is looking pretty wonderful in terms of bang for your buck. A £10.99 premium subscription will now get you access to ever-evolving bangers like Grounded 2, and an ultimate one will be just worth the price even if the only game you play next month is Date Everything. And of course, there's still plenty more to come, so make sure you subscribe and ring that bell. Bye!